listen, man, I don't tell my stories. I let other people tell them. You feel me? But this is why, like, with you, it's like, yo, a lot of people got to be like, yo, man, you giving dudes an opportunity, like, to tell their story, you know, uncut.
And what went down with Lil Durk pops, and what popped off, and how did it go down?
Well, it's like this, right? Little Durk pops is Big Durk, which is Abdul Hop, right? I already know, people already know, you know, he was a GD. He was a high-ranking member of the Gangsta Disciples out there in Chicago, and you know, he was up under, that's one of his guys, straight up under Larry, directly under him, you know, one of the guys, you know, with him. And this was my man, you know, he was Muslim, and he was the imam over in Terre, Indiana. And you know, I was part of the community, and they had the security, which is the Sharif squad, like, you know, the mayor of security. And at that time, the mayor of security was my man Jihad from he actually from Queens, but you know, he was out of Ohio. He a twin, good dude, right? And he had came to me and was like, yo, he wanted me to be on basically the security team, the Sharif team or whatever, you know, because he was the Amir of security. And I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna rock with you, but know this, bro, all of that politic and stuff, I ain't with that. I know how the politics go in the feds. You know, everybody be trying to sit down, come to resolutions, and, you know, try to resolve issues before they become bigger. Everybody be that hands-off policy. Nobody put their hands on nobody else's people. If they people violate, you go to them and they deal with their people. People trying to stop wars and stuff. Because when there's a war, you know, most likely somebody gonna die because dudes is playing for keeps. That's straight up, right? You know, everybody from different states, different geographical locations, and everybody trying to rep their cities and their geographics, and, you know, people, you know, it's car situation. They call them cars to wit, like, whoever you want with, that's like your car or whatever. Like, you know, so whatever, like, you know, Abdul Haq, he was in a Muslim car, so he wasn't in the Chicago car, even though he's from Chicago. He wasn't in the GD car, even though he had Gangsta Disciple affiliations, because, you know, this is who he is. But, you know, being in prison, he took Shahada and learned the religion real good and practiced it, you know, in a way that it's supposed to be practiced. And then, you know, it's like this. You are who you are, you know, and meaning that whoever you are, like, is your birthright. Like, say the man, he's a natural leader. So when he was in the streets and doing what he was doing, he was a leader within his organization. And so when he came to prison and he became Muslim and, you know, took Shahada, and he stayed who he was. He just applied himself, you know, to a different situation, meaning you are who you are. It's about what you apply yourself to. So he also became a leader within the religion, because this is who he was, a leader. So, you know, to go on, right, you know, like I said, I was up under Jihad, and he was like, yo, telling me, you know, what it was. I'm like, yo, and I told him, I was like, listen, bro, when you come to me about a situation, bro, don't come to me with the politics. You go and deal with the politics. He was a good orator. He's a good talker. So he was like, cool. I said, when it's time to push, then you come holler at me. When you come to me, you like, yo, it's time to push. It ain't no we going to go talk to the people, try to solve. I'm not with that part of it. Y'all do that. When it's done, it's done. I said, when it come time to push, you know, come get me. Because they already hollered at me to get on the squad anyway, because they know that I'll push that night, right? I ain't saying it like I'm no bad guy, nothing like that, or tougher than nobody else, but I'm going to push my knife. Like, in the streets, I'm going to bust my gun. If I got, like, you know, back when I was into the streets, you know, I didn't carry a gun or a weapon for protection. I carried it for aggression. You feel me? It's a difference, you know, and just like in prison, at a time, you know, I didn't carry my weapon for protection, I carried it for aggression. So, meaning that, you know, I told him, like, yo, bro, when it's time to push, come holler at me, you know, and he was like, cool. So now, one day, because I was a head cook inside the kitchen, I was cooking in the kitchen, you know, I not chef it up, you already know. application, applying a different situation to another. While I'm up in there chefing it up, hey, cooking, all of that. Boom, you know, hustling in the kitchen. You know how that go. We doing our thing. Boom. I'm working 7 days a week because I'm the head cook, so I'm trying to get that paper. I don't want to miss nothing. So one day I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, I ain't even gonna go to work today. I'm gonna just chill. So I was up in my cell, up in the block. I was up in J block, up in my block, laid back on my bed, just chilling. I don't know. I think I had my headphones on or something. And my man Peasy came knocking on the door. Boom, boom, boom. Like, yo, come here, bro. So I'm like, what up, bro? He's like, yo, Yusuf said, come to the kitchen and bring that. So he said, come down. It's an emergency. Come to the kitchen and bring that. So I'm like, all right, boom. Now Yusuf is my man from Indiana. Real good brother. I was about to go home and everything, but son was my man. He was on the Sharif squad. That's my man. And he pushed that knife, right? That's my man. And so however it go, he come and tell me, he said, the man told me that Yusuf wanted me. Now Yusuf, he also was a cook in the kitchen, right? He was actually at that time, he wasn't the number one. He was my number two at the time. He was my number two. I was the head cook and he was my number two. So he was in the kitchen because when I'm not working, he's the number one. Oh, however it go. So now I go there and I say, okay, boom. He want me to come in the kitchen, bring that. So I'm telling you, I know he told me to bring a hammer or something. But I know, like, why he would tell me to bring a hammer when we got hammers in the kitchen? But you already know the kitchen, everybody, big. Listen, bring the hammer. So I'm like, bring a hammer. So I'm like, all right, so boom. I go down there. I ain't bring no hammer. I just took the ox. I got my ox with me. Boom. Got the ox in the mouth. Let me tell you something. Everybody know New York dudes would carry. See, New York will carry the razor in their mouth. That ain't nothing. This is what we do. We grow up off of that. When you first go to the island, first thing you learn, like before you even go down, everybody know. We carry razors.
So, let me ask you right quick. I don't want to stop the flow of the story, but let me ask this because I always wanted to know this. Do dudes still be getting like cut in the face in the feds the way dudes get cut in the state?
If a dude get cut in the face in the feds, bro, we did it. You hear me?
It was New York.
Listen, the dude get cut in the face in the feds, bro. A New York dude did it, bro. Straight up. They already New York dude will cut you. We the only ones that really play with them razors like that, bro. Everybody know. They already know. That's why they know you gotta watch a New York dude getting up on you, because he might have that thing you don't even see where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? You already know how he's slick with it. You know what I mean? And that's like a major. See, us, it ain't nothing. We don't get understand it. We kind of slick with it. But like, that's a little slick thing. Carrying the ox in the mouth, spitting it out, being able to spit it out like 3. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole foot from your mouth, like spit it out and catch it. Oh, all of the crazy stuff dudes used to do with the oxes and all of that. Put them in the mouth. The police can't find, run your finger through it. You know how you already know, son. Someone, we used to play with them things, right? But anyway, right? But
Yeah, you said so. You just went through with the ox instead of you ain't bring no hammer. You just went through with the ox.
I took the ox with me. I got my ox with me in my mouth, right? Boom. So I'm waiting for. I want to get into the kitchen. I want to find my way to the kitchen. Boom. I get there. I go in there and I see Yusuf and I see Jihad and I'm like, yo, what's up? They was like, yo, this is what's going on. At Hop or Big Dirt, one of the brothers went to get a hammer for him. I said, huh? He said one of the brothers, his brother named D, was from Iowa. He was part of the community, though. He wasn't with the Iowa card, he was with the community. So after Hopper, Big Dirt came into the unit, and he went to him and he asked him, he's like, yo, bro, it's the prayers in. He told him, like, yo, the prayers in, come on, we pray. Because in there, you really couldn't pray in congregation, because you only could pray in a certain amount of, because they feel like that's like group, grouping.
Dudes ganging up. They feel like dudes ganging up.
Illegal grouping. You know what I'm saying? Basically, something like that. Like, it's illegal, like, it's a legal demonstration. Like, so they like, if you do pray, you can only have a certain amount of number in it. So he come in, he the E-man. He in the unit, he got massive brothers in this unit. He's like the E-unit. He come in there, and I guess he telling brothers, Sulat is in. Let's go pray. And dude was like, he ain't trying to go pray. So he's like, yo, the prayer's in. And dude like, yo, y'all go ahead. I ain't praying with y'all. Whatever he was saying. But whatever he said, he wasn't going to pray. So, and this is one thing about Big Dirt. Like, he had a lot of problems here and there with different brothers in the community. But I'm gonna tell you something. Every time he had a problem with a brother, it was never over no BS. It was always over. He was trying to get them to practice the religion in the way that it was supposed to be practiced. And he trying to get them, like, he coming at them about the religion, about practicing it, about not doing this, not doing that. Yeah, he tried to get the dude to pray, and dude didn't want to pray. So however it went, they start getting into a verbal confrontation, and they start having a argument or whatever. They start arguing, and it got a little heated or whatever. And dude walked off. Now when dude walked off, he went to one of his dudes from his state or his city from Iowa and asked him for a hammer. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So he asked him for a hammer. So now I don't know if they gave it to him or whatever, but they supposed to give him a hammer. And when it happened, the dudes told each other, like, yo, one of them came and told him, like, yo, the dude, what's his name, just gave him a hammer. You get him a hammer, that's cool, that's our homeboy, but he with the Muslim car, and he just got into an argument with they eat man, with Durk. You know what I'm saying? With Abdul Haq, with Big Durk. And they was like, yo, what? So they went and they told another brother, Mansour, from Cincinnati, funny dude, right? They told Mansour, they like, yo, brother Mansour, yo, listen. And they told him what happened. Basically, yo, we gave dude a hammer, because he our homeboy, but we didn't know we was giving him a hammer, and he just got into a beef with y'all eat man. So he was like, huh? So they told him about it. So he was like, yo, he didn't even go to Abdul Haq, man. So Dirk, you know what I'm saying? He went to go holler at the dude's D. So he went to go holler at him. When he went to go holler at him, dude wilded out on him. You feel what I'm saying? Dude wilded out on him, chased him off the cell. Was like, yo, get out my cell on everything. On blood. He started screaming some blood stuff, all crazy stuff, bro. You hear me? And dude ran him out the cell. So he went and told Big Durk what happened, and whatever. And so after that, I guess the next morning, Durk shot the message to Jihad or whatever, because nothing basically didn't happen that night there. None of them brothers went and handled no business or nothing like that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. He ain't bust no move with the hammer, but dudes already knew he had the hammer or whatever, but ain't nothing happened. And now they telling me basically bits and pieces of the story, basically trying to give me the shorter version. Try to make a short story shorter, so they try to give me the short version. Like, this is what happened. Dude, when he got a knife for Durk, this is what's going on. We gonna handle the situation. So he started giving me a whole bunch of like movie scenes, basically like, yo, we gonna do it like this. Yo, we gonna go back there. We gonna pull him here. We gonna do this. I'm gonna say this. And when I say that, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Yo, this is some real stuff, yo, bro. Bro, it's bugging me out, son, because he trying to make a movie out the joint, son. And I'm like, yo, son, we gonna stab dude or what? Like, what's going on? You feel me? I told dude, don't come get me unless it's time to push. You feel me? Now, let me tell you, when I walk in the kitchen, when he tell me all of this stuff, I'm walking towards the back of the kitchen, because I know we got hammers back there. Like I told you, we got my ox on me. So when we get back, I go up over there with the pot. We got these little things I can lick, reach up in there, I grab the hammer. Boom, I get the little hammer. So now I got the hammer. Boom, it's like a pit, like, you know what I'm saying, like a long, crazy screw with the crazy point. A murder weapon, right? Anyway, right? So I got the joint, and I got the ox in my mouth, mind you. So now we talking, and they giving me all these scenes, these movie scenes. So I'm like, yo, this stuff is bugging me out. You feel me? Because I guess dudes ain't really soldiers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know how dudes ain't really soldiers, and they probably been and stuff or whatever, but they ain't really bust no moves. They ain't never, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they ain't been knife to knife. They ain't been in the 1,000 shooter. They don't really know how to, put no move together. They was like neophytes in the Valence game, and I'm like an ultra violent dude. So I'm like, yo, what the heck? Like, what we gonna do? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He put together something. Whatever, we supposed to go in the dish room when the kitchen clear, we go call dudes in the dish room, because there ain't no cameras back in the dish room, and there ain't no cameras in the back of the kitchen where they cook at and all of that. There's only cameras in basically in the dining room, the big dining room area. That's how most of the kitchens are made and fed. Right, anyway, we go in the dish room,